faith in one's mission does not necessitate continual reassurance. Your demeanor changes while you're working on something important. The rarity of this attracts the attention of women who go after it. The power of maintaining emotional stability. Picture yourself in the middle of a stressful or angry argument. On the spot, the majority of people would lash out, become visibly agitated, or raise their voice in protest. But then there's the guy who maintains his composure and self-control no matter what. He leaves an indelible impression. Having a steady emotional foundation is an innate attraction for women. Being calm when things get heated is only part of it. Sending a message of strength and maturity is the point. Maintaining your emotional stability demonstrates your ability to navigate life's obstacles with grace and strength. This quality stems from the Stoic idea of mastering what you can and releasing the rest. Unpredictability is a constant in life. Discouraging, disappointing, and unexpected reactions. What makes you unique is how you deal with adversity. Emotional stability is appealing from a psychological perspective since it offers security. Men who can remain composed and collected under pressure are more attractive to women. Practical strategies to build emotional composure. Think twice before responding. Breathe deeply and count to 3 before reacting when you sense your emotions escalating. Avoiding hasty decisions is possible with this easy routine. View bad situations in a new light. To avoid dwelling on the question, why me? Wondering, what have I learned from this? Keep a journal of your ideas. If you want to deal with your problems rationally instead of emotionally, writing them down is a good first step. Manly men are rock-solid partners in any relationship because they can keep their emotions in check. They have the ability to lead through challenging circumstances and are reliable and grounded, and it's no wonder women are captivated by their allure. Provide an opportunity for growth. Behold, a sobering reality. Difficult things are more valued by people. This rule is applicable in every situation, including romantic relationships. Women have an innate attraction to males who aren't afraid to confront them, not because they take pleasure in being ignored, but because they long for the feeling of accomplishment that comes from being seen. A guy is showing signs of desperation when he is overly available and always willing to go out of his way to please. And when you're desperate, you lose all charm. However, when you transform into an obstacle, someone who is picky about where they put their energy, you inevitably become someone people want to follow. Why do difficulties pique people's interest? The human brain is hardwired to place a higher value on things that require effort. The principle of scarcity states as much. Something more significant and important feels to be something that is unusual or hard to get. Men who don't give in to a woman's advances right away send the message that they value their time and attention highly. Being difficult doesn't imply being unfriendly, uncaring, or uninterested. Living independently entails doing what you want, when you want, and not letting other people's desires control your time or your choices. In what ways might one become a test? Keep your focus. Zero in on your purpose and objectives. As his life gets busier, a man's availability inevitably decreases. Seek validation when you don't need it. Do not be overly complimentary or show signs of being needy. Make sure that everything you say and do has purpose. When it's required, say no. Honor your personal space and schedule. No woman wants her hand held when she wants it badly enough. To gain your esteem, awe, and love is their ultimate goal. When you live by this idea, ladies will come swarming after you. Pursue you because you are a chance worth taking. 5. Learn to harness the subtle force of not needing anything. Have you ever thought about how certain guys seem to have an innate ability to hold people's attention? They enter a room unconcerned with whether or not anyone is looking, and that lack of interest somehow makes them irresistible. What you're seeing here is the impact of being self-sufficient, a quality that sets you apart from the crowd. You don't have to be needy to care about other people. Rather, it's about having such self-confidence that you don't need anyone else's approval to feel good about yourself. This way of thinking conveys independence and great worth, which sets off an enticing chain reaction. The benefits of non-neediness. In terms of mental health, the absence of neediness is indicative of plenty. It shows that you're not committed to just one choice, but rather have a few. When a woman sees that you aren't solely concerned with pleasing her, she becomes more interested and, perhaps, sexually aroused. Conversely, a lack of self-sufficiency is a hallmark of neediness. Women have an innate tendency to avoid guys who give off an air of insecurity, whether it's through an excessive need for validation or an overemphasis on appearances. Effective strategies for fostering a lack of necessity: invest in your own future. Create a life that matters by pursuing what you're truly passionate about. You will rely less on other people's approval the busier and happier you are. 2. Don't text too much. Sending someone an overwhelming amount of messages is rude. Talk in a relaxed and even-keeled manner. 3. Cultivate an attitude of plenty. Keep in mind that your success and happiness are not dependent on anyone else. For women, the ideal partner is a man who exudes non-neediness because it sends a clear message. I am complete and content just being myself. 6. Embrace being open and honest without being too open. The ability to be vulnerable is actually a strength, not a weakness as is commonly believed. But hold for a second. Not every exposed emotion is endearing. When a man is genuine and vulnerable while still being emotionally composed, he becomes irresistible. Many guys err when they equate being vulnerable with being overly emotional or sharing too much. It can be daunting and unappealing to disclose every personal difficulty or insecurity right from the start. Being open and honest while maintaining a solid foundation of self-confidence is the essence of genuine vulnerability. The appeal of exposure. Vulnerability from a psychological perspective fosters connection. It demonstrates that you have self-confidence to the point that you can discuss sensitive topics without worrying about what other people may think. When a man can speak his mind without becoming emotional, women look up to him. Truthfulness, though, needs a counterpoint of power. It appears as though he is emotionally unstable if he exclusively talks about his problems without showing any signs of resiliency. Proving that you've overcome obstacles by becoming a stronger person is crucial. Guidelines for practicing genuine vulnerability. 1. Timing is everything. Not to be pitied or sought after, but to enrich the discussion. Share anecdotes when they have something worthwhile to say. 2. Demonstrate progress. Rather than viewing difficulties as permanent causes of suffering, frame them as opportunities for growth. 3. Keep your emotions in check. Stay in control of your emotions while expressing them. You may say something like, "I've had moments of anxiety in the past, but I've learned to manage them by focusing on mindfulness and discipline." Instead of, "I'm really insecure and anxious all the time," you could use this example. When a man can be both strong and approachable, women gravitate toward him. You become someone worth chasing when you learn to be truly vulnerable. You become relatable, trustworthy, and profoundly captivating. Here you have it, strong strategies grounded in ageless, Stoic ideas that will make women chase you naturally. This isn't about any kind of gimmicks or tricks, though. A guy of value is one who exudes self-assurance, maintains his composure, and is completely committed to his mission. People, especially women, will gravitate toward you when you stop seeking validation and start dominating yourself. It's not a hoax. Mental acuity and autonomy are key concepts. Please subscribe to Stoic Guide, like, and comment on today's video if you enjoyed it. A life characterized by wisdom, power, and unwavering discipline may be yours with our support. Never lose sight of the big picture and keep going forward no matter what. Catch you later. Let's face it, the majority of men spend their entire life chasing after women. Imagine instead if I told you there was a method to have women chase you instead of the other way around. That is, to create an irresistible draw. This has nothing to do with crappy pickup techniques or manipulating someone. Mastering a profound psychological truth is at the heart of it. There are several characteristics that women find irresistible in a man: serenity, self-assurance, and direction. Being stoic will serve you well in this situation. The stoic guy, in contrast to the anxious reactive man, carries himself with an air of subtle authority. He isn't the type to ask for favors. He's quite content not to. Being totally committed to his mission allows him to command respect. Such poise and command evokes an instinctive response, making it irresistible, a hidden yearning in women to pursue material possessions that are out of reach. Here, without sacrificing your beliefs or engaging in games, I will teach you the Stoic concepts that will make any woman want to pursue you. Now let's proceed. 1. Get good at being detached. Men who aren't overly possessive of women tend to attract more women to them. From a Stoic perspective, detachment isn't about acting distant or uncaring. Prioritizing your inner calm over seeking validation from others is key. A lady will be captivated by your air of mystery and independence if you adopt this mentality. She will likely be eager to pursue you. Detachment, at its foundation, is the ability to regulate one's emotional responses. It's realizing that other people's approval and focus aren't crucial to your sense of satisfaction and value. Rejection doesn't hurt you, and praise doesn't boost your pride when you're emotionally distant. You develop a strong sense of stability and self-control, and you learn to avoid the extremes of emotion that men often encounter. How is this psychologically effective? Rare and hard-to-get things are more valuable to humans because of our innate greed. A woman will start to question why you aren't always trying to win her heart over. She is compelled to pursue what appears evasive, prompted by that nuanced yet potent change. A great degree of self-respect is also shown by detachment. The ability to separate oneself from an unproductive circumstance is a sign of a man who respects his time and energy. Men who appreciate themselves are respected and attractive to women. Here are some practical ways to practice not getting attached. Keep your life interesting. Pay attention to your profession, well-being, interests, and self-improvement. When you're busy, you don't have time to devote to anyone. Get in touch. Don't wait. Keep your cool if someone backs out of a plan or doesn't respond right away via text. No matter how other people act, life continues on. Take part in Stoic contemplation. Do you ever stop to think about how this fits into the bigger picture of your life? Refrain from getting caught up in trivial matters by asking yourself this question. Detachment isn't about controlling other people in the end. A man who is content with himself doesn't need to chase after anything else. That is the goal. Women find him irresistible for that very reason. Gain irresistible self-assurance by focusing on your goals. Being self-assured is a beautiful quality in a man. He has a constant, unwavering faith in himself, rather than the ostentatious type. You can't be born with this kind of assurance. It develops when one lives intentionally. Exactly why is purpose important? Why? Because women can't resist the magnetic energy that emanates from guys who have found their life's purpose. A sense of purpose fosters determination, drive, and perseverance. You no longer look to other people, especially women, for confirmation, because it solidifies your identity. In terms of psychology, women are more attracted to guys who appear to have direction and control over their lives. People feel more at ease with a man who has a clear vision of his future. With self-assurance, he takes control of his ship and sets sail. Because of this, women are compelled to follow and support him. The ability to overcome adversity is the defining characteristic of a man who has found his calling in life. When a man has no goals in life, he is vulnerable to the whims of chance. In spite of transient setbacks, a guy with a mission remains rooted. Because of his ability to remain calm under fire, he is quite appealing. Ways to foster a sense of call. Discover what truly excites you. Time seems to slip away when you're doing what? These things usually reveal more about your true passions. Go for the stars in the distance. Divide your objectives into smaller, more manageable tasks, and make it a daily habit to complete each one. Keep your focus. Refrain from engaging in meaningless activities or spending too much time on social media.